Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about DevOps. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Frederick, I recently transferred from my DevOps role into full-time software development. But 3 years ago, okay, that's not recently. 3 years ago you did this, all right. But my manager always asks me to do DevOps tasks, and rarely lets me pursue opportunities in terms of development skills. Is it time for me to start looking for a new job? Well, not necessarily, but I would say yeah, it probably is. Dude, you're gonna have to do the thing that no child wants to do and no parent wants to happen. You're gonna have to grow up. You're gonna have to tell mommy and daddy or whoever what you call your boss that it's time for you to stop treating me like a child, and they're not gonna do that unless you are a bit rude about it. They're not going to like it, but you're gonna have to be rude about it because otherwise they will never see you as someone other than, well, they're going to be convenient about it. When you have a lot of responsibilities and they want you to do something, well, then you're an adult and they should be able to trust that you can do these sorts of things. But when it's convenient for them, you're still their little boy or girl. And your boss is the same thing. You want to be a big grown up software developer, but that's only okay when I let you, because otherwise you're gonna have to be a DevOps engineer. I'm sorry, because I need you to be a DevOps engineer. And this happens all the time. The pattern is very simple. What happens is in literally every single software company, and I would say this is not just in software, I think it is in practically anything, is that the second you get associated with a concept or a topic or any type of area within your company, and you get to be identified as the one who has the most information about this topic, anybody who is unsure will go to you first, which just perpetuates the fact that you know the most. Even if you're not at the time the person who can know exactly, you don't know exactly what they're looking for, you might help them, and then now you know, and then the next time they come, you're gonna repeat that process, and you get forced into being the master of a topic or be the domain expert in something. I like to say that if your name gets attached to any delivery within your company, you own that thing for life. In some cases, they might actually, even if you quit the company, they might actually call you to ask you how does this thing work, because no company has ever, not ever, invested in writing down the damn fucking specification. Nobody does that. So when only one person really knows how all of these things should be working, well, who are they going to come to? And if you quit, how do you know if the thing is broken or not, or if you're going to break it? Because of course you don't have any tests, or you don't work with BDD or anything like that that verifies if a feature is working the way it's supposed to be working. And that is your life now. So the one thing I can tell you that you can do is to actually say that I don't want to be this individual anymore. Now, what your manager is going to say is that you can't really have that attitude or something like that. They might listen to you and they might understand that you're being put in a really tough position, and then you can play a little bit hardball with them and say, well, I feel like you're pushing me into this role over and over, and I'm actually considering quitting. We need to train somebody else. We need to get someone else to be able to pick up this for me. Now, here is the thing. Now you're going to have to go buy this in a similar way to how the drug cartels are doing it and the criminals are doing it in all the series that I've watched, where if you have a deal with an opposing gang where they're depending on your drugs or your guns to make a profit, you can't just say that you're not going to do that no more, because then they're going to kill you. You're going to have to find another gang that can take over the supply run. And that's exactly what you need to do. You need to find a patsy or some other poor motherfucker who wants this job, and then you need to start knowledge transferring. The best way that I've ever seen this be done is to have a dedicated go-to person, an explicit person that you always have to move to. In a DevOps team, for example, what you do is that you have a rotating schedule. Who is on call, like just your own little on call internal thing. and then you rotate that person. So every week somebody else is picking up the pieces, and even if they are completely incapable of solving the problem, that does not matter. Every single request to the team goes through that person. Even if they're like literally just going to ask you immediately afterwards, doesn't matter. They own the issue, and you will guide them through solving that issue. And that rotation continues until they're able to do the job without practically ever asking you. So it's kind of like the Indiana Jones thing. You're taking the bag of sand and ever so carefully moving yourself away from the pressure plate and putting the bag of sand in your stead. That is exactly what you're doing. You are the golden statue. So what I want you to take away from this is that if your boss forces you into a role, it doesn't have to just be DevOps oriented work, and you want to transition into something different, you can't just say, I quit, I don't want to do this anymore. Because if your company has built up, unfortunately, a dependency on you that is that critical that you always have to be involved, you have to find a patsy, you have to find a substitute, a protege, whatever. You need someone to take your place so that things keep on moving. The best way for you to do that is to create a rotation, a knowledge sharing strategy where you no longer are the first go-to. You force people to go to somebody else before you, and then they proxy directly to you, and then you educate them, and you continue that process until there's no proxy anymore. They don't even talk to you anymore. And there you are, freedom at last. If this doesn't work, or if it's unfeasible to you, then quit. Because once you're associated with a role at the company, and there's nobody they think that you know the most, and it's easier to go to you first, you own that thing for life. Have a great day.